Hi Mermaid Junkies, how are you? I hope you're doing great. We had a cold front yesterday, so it was really nice. Even though I did say even on my social media that I was having a really crappy day yesterday. And I don't know if it was hormones or what it was, but like I just really was not having a good day and I couldn't pinpoint it. Does that ever happen to you? Like you just don't feel yourself and you can't basically you can't put your finger on it. Anyway, that's kind of what was going on with me yesterday. And so basically this morning I got up and of course shot these videos, and then also did a little bit of painting and stuff, and that always seems to help me do really well. But anyway, what I want to talk to you about is I totally didn't even do my hair today. I just like threw it up in a ponytail. A side ponytail. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about was jealousy. What is jealousy and how that we can swim through it. What is jealousy and how to navigate through it. Jealousy basically, and this video was actually spurred on by last week. I completely had like a semi-jealousy meltdown. And so I thought, okay, well, this is great because I'm like a guinea pig, for anything that's bothering me or things that are going on in my life. I just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna totally do a video about that because it somehow helps me. I don't know if it's therapeutic to me, I guess. Anyway, so basically what jealousy is it's an activated vibration within you that you either don't have something that you want, or you have something that you think can be eventually taken away from you. And I think, anyway, and I'm just going to be brutally honest again, what spurred this on was a situation that I really didn't have any reason to be jealous. But like sometimes when you don't ask questions or you just kind of assume things, that your mind starts spinning and like all of a sudden you're completely knee deep in a situation that wasn't even a fourth of any of that. It was just stemmed by that triggered emotion that you have that perhaps you haven't worked through in your past or whatever. And so that's exactly what happened to me. And yes, I did assume, and I know that's something that I'm still working through because of past experiences and my past relationships where they're always distrusting, and it's just really been an awakening because I think that it's so important to you guys when we are working through these different things is to not see it as, like perhaps your mate or whatever, not to see that person as your enemy. Because I think a lot of times we can feel very alone and like this person or that person is doing something to me or doing something to us that's causing us to feel this way. And when you are activated with jealousy, it's a vibrational kind of thing, and it's the only way that you're going to not be jealous is to be secure and to have security within yourself. And security basically is alignment. And no one can give you alignment but yourself. And I think that is really difficult for some people because we want to blame like our partner, we want to blame situations or experiences that happen to us on a particular person. Because once you put, like if I put all of my attention on, say Jeffrey, if I put all of my attention on him and he's the object of my affection, right? That's a surefire way to get into alignment. But if you're having an issue with your mate or you're having a jealousy fit with your significant other or a friend or something like that, it's more difficult to put that person as your object of affection because you have a situation that's happening with them, right? Jealousy is an amplified awareness of something that we want while standing in the place of feeling like it's something that we can't have or we won't be able to maintain. And I think that is very true. I mean, you can be jealous in all kinds of different ways. I'm speaking mostly of, oh, Oliver's chewing on my wicker. I'm speaking mostly right now of relationships. But it could be jealousy of like seeing someone else's life or seeing someone else's career, or just looking at another person and you feeling this sense of lack in yourself. And that is really what it is. I mean, it's just basically an insecurity within yourself, and you're directing it onto someone else. Is this making any sense? I hope that this is making sense. But the ways to go about doing it is, okay, for one thing, let me just clarify this. Because the universe hears what you say, doesn't hear what you say. The universe doesn't hear what you say. The universe only hears what you mean. So if you are in this heated debacle with your partner and you just realize something, or you're jealous, or you're going into a rage, jealousy fit, that is not the time to try and work through this, okay? Because you're never going to get to the bottom of it. It's going to amplify it tenfold, and there is no bottom. You're not going to get to the bottom of it. So the basic two things that I'm thinking that I would suggest of, and this is how I've worked through it, and I'm sure I'm going to have more jealousy fits. I'm sure I'm going to have, I'm sure I'm going to be envious of someone else. I mean, you're not always in complete alignments, 24/7. And so we're only natural. We're only working through this thing called life and trying to figure out what we're doing and just how to work through those things. But the two things that I will say that really, really helped me, and I'm going to suggest those, is either intense meditation, going to sleep. And I know you say, well, Raquel, we can't freaking go to sleep every time we have a situation that we need to work through, I understand that. But I'm not saying that you have to do that every time. But meditation, sleep, or now I'm going to recommend this because this is what's really helped me. I write, and I write with a purpose-driven reason for putting things down in words, right? It's kind of like it helps me to navigate through my thought processes at that moment and how to bring myself back into alignment. Now, a lot of people won't recommend doing that because the more that you talk things out, or the more that you write things out, it intensifies sometimes for people, because the universe is like its law of attraction. So the more that you're like writing crap down, the more it's going to bring that to some people. Now that it doesn't do that to me because I use it as a purpose-driven tool. So to get to the bottom, if that is not contradictory, but I use it as a way for, it helps me to align myself very quickly. And it's because I'm a problem solver in that moment. Now, I'm not doing this in a fit of jealousy or rage. I totally don't do anything. I just go silent and either take a little nap or go and meditate. But then after that, I try to find a solution through problem solving, which is trying to understand the underpinnings of why I'm jealous and what's stemming it and what caused it. Because, a lot of times, you guys, we're going to want to like blame that other person and want them to change their behavior in order for us to feel better. But once again, we can't expect for someone else to change their behavior to make us feel better, because you want to get to the point where you are so aligned and you are so secure within yourself, because it's looking for love in all the wrong places. You're looking for someone else to validate you or make you feel secure again. And Jeffrey can't do that for me. My parents can't do that nobody can do that for us. Our mates can't do it. But that's what happens a lot of times in relationships and marriages and friendships even. I mean, it happens. It's such a conditional way of looking at things and looking at relationships, is that in order for Raquel to feel better, because this is my past, right? In order for me to feel better, you're going to have to stop doing what you've been doing, because I don't like how it makes me feel. But see, what I'm doing is relying on that other person to make me feel good. And so when you do that, it's always going to thwart. It's going to fall out. The bottom's going to fall out. if you expect other people to always work around you and you live a conditional basis, and so many people are habitual in this kind of living. In relationships, it's prominent. It's very, very prominent. And it was, I'll even say, in my previous relationship, in my earlier marriage, that my previous marriage is what I meant. But I would want my partner to stop doing certain things because it made me feel bad and made me insecure. And now that's not to say that I'm sitting there going, well, you know what? You can do whatever the flip you want and I'm not going to be, affected by it, because we all know we're human beings, and sometimes when people are doing things and they are having a particular behavior with something, it does affect our alignment. Jeffrey doing certain things does affect my alignment, and that's only natural. But the whole object of this subject, jealousy, is to work through and get alignment on your own, because invariably you cannot ever rely on someone else to help you to feel better. You have to be secure enough within yourself always. And anyway, you always have to rely on yourself as far as being in alignment, because that's the only way you're going to have true, honest security. And like I said, if you continue to live your life in a way that where you expect other people to alter their behavior in some manner, you're not going to, it's like it's like the puppet on a string. You let go and all of a sudden you're just completely disheveled and you don't know how to behave. You don't know how to respond. You don't know how to be on your own, because you've always relied on other people pulling that puppet string. Do this, now do that, do this, now do that. And so as long as you live in that kind of conditional love, you're always going to be let down, and you're going to be unhappy a large portion of your life. And so anyway, the main thing is let's work on getting alignment within ourselves. And the only way that you can do that is to completely love yourself. It's all about self-love and having that sense of where you don't compare yourself to anyone, and you don't expect your partner, your mate, or a friend, or your parents, or anyone else to ever have to do certain things and behave in a particular way in order for you to feel good. And so that is ultimately how you can overcome jealousy. And like I said, you're not going to get over it completely, especially if you are anything in the way that I am or I was growing up, is that it's a process. It takes time, and that's okay. We've got, 30 lifetimes to live out. It's a work in progress, and it's something that it's a process. And so just be kind to yourself and realize that, one, don't ever try to solve the problem when you're in a heated jealousy fit and rage. Do not try to do that. Maybe go on a walk or go on a run or take a stroll somewhere, or like I said, go meditate if you can do that. It's hard for me to meditate sometimes, so a lot of times I'll just take a little cat nap, if I'm really feeling, because you do lose, you fall back into that sense of vibration, alignment with God. When God, source, I always say source, God, whichever you choose to call your higher being. And so that's always helped me. And then after that, I will sit there and work through my issues on paper, like I said, in a very problem-solving way. And so anyway, I hope this served you. I hope that you have a great day, and look forward to doing my next video. And as always, I'm yours until my next swim. Ciao!